let's go.
More videos than ever. We're back with this thing. I just chose one by random.
Hello, I'm Thing.
Yes, hello, he is Thing. Sam's back with us because we're doing this all in like one session.
Yes.
Which I mean is fun because like Monster Hunter is fun when you have at least one other player.
On your own it gets boring pretty easily.
Yeah, and then when you play with randos and you don't have communications, it gets also kind of boring. I should know, considering I finished the game with randos.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, because like everyone on Guilded was like busy or something, and I'm just like, I want to finish this now. And then I pretty much did the All Mother with randos, and I did the All Mother with randos, and I did the Battle Tracks with randos. So I pretty much beat the entire game with randos.
Fair enough.
Which I mean, fair. Like this Monster Hunter game in particular has a really good community, so it's still toxic to hell and back. But I mean, the people I talked to at least were pretty nice. So we have 3 requests for Hunter rank 4, and then we move up to 5, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7. There is 7, right?
Yes. 7 is the last one.
Yep. So it's a standard Monster Hunter game. So I think even Generations did that before the DLC.
Maybe.
Like I feel like 3 did it. I remember 3 a lot more because that was my that was my first game.
Oh wait, no, I forgot something. Holy shit, no. I don't have screech resistance anymore. I'm gonna need the decorations for that.
This thing doesn't screech though, does it?
No, this one actually does. This is the first big monster that screeches, I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember that thing, because all I remember is him just throwing fireballs. Fire young balls!
That's pretty much what this monster is, though, isn't it?
Yeah. God, you know what? I just remembered. I was going through my Twitter again. I'm like, I keep forgetting I follow a bunch of YouTubers that I followed for years now. I keep forgetting I follow NTom.
I am not going to be using this set for this monster. I'm not going to.
Okay.
It's but I mean it's -5 weak to fire, so.
Yeah, and even then you're gonna be dodging it, won't you?
I mean I have all of the perfect the dodge. Well, actually, you know what? Fuck it, I'll go for this one.
Yeah, because I would say like it's also like Hunter rank 4, so it shouldn't pose a problem for you yet.
No. It's
oh, piss! I thought you were ready.
How do I leave? So I can't join anymore.
No, you can join. You just have to go to the quest board and reassign yourself.
You cannot join this quest because the host is already preparing for Battle Piece Wait, so I just need to wait.
I'm loading. It's because I'm loading.
Yeah, I just need to wait for you to load it. Alright, let's go.
Also, a good thing about playing with 2 players, when you have an entire box like this, because you will always have a box like this, you can take 2 of each things, which is really good. When you get to 3 players, you should only take 1 at that point, but like, 2 players is pretty good for this point in the game. I was traditionally going to have another friend of mine help us, and then I realized he doesn't got to Switch no more. And my other friend who's going to help us is currently at work.
Anyone I know of? Or?
No, just some new people I added to the service.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I'm a freaking social butterfly.
From Ink, and I tried to contact Chaos because for some weird reason his PayPal doesn't work. So yeah, I cannot send him anything, and I can't contact him. So
I mean, Chaos being Ghost?
No, Ghost. There's Ghost and Chaos.
Oh. Who the hell's Chaos again?
Okay, he does scream. Shit.
That's also probably someone I don't know now. I think about it.
The guy that drew the
Oh!
cover for.
I feel so dumb because you just said it. I'm like, oh, now I remember. Yeah, Chaos. Yeah, I mean, like, everyone who used Gilded for like all of us, like, they've been dead. Like, I'm on here all the time, obviously, but like, I don't see anyone on anymore. And it's like,
I mean, Gilded is. I mean, you saw it earlier, right? It's just buggy.
yeah,
It feels. It feels like it's not finished.
Yeah, but I mean, you still all get the text when I. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, microphone back on. No, but you guys still get the messages when I like post stuff on the server. I even tested this with my sister.
I mean, sometimes I don't receive notifications, and that's just my phone. When it's on my PC, yeah, I do receive them, but that's not really the issue. To be honest, it's just it's overall buggy. It doesn't work like half the time.
Look, I feel like it has troubles trying to connect like North America to Europe. Like if I'm talking to someone who's other that it's also North American, I don't have problems.
No, it's what I mean is like okay, or it might just be that.
Okay, sorry about that for constantly muting this damn microphone for the Elgato, but that's a thing. But I mean, like, it's also, like, I find it harder to connect people who are working off data, and it works really well with people that use, like, internet on their phone and stuff like that. Like, Wi-Fi on the phones.
I mean, I'm using Wi-Fi on my phone. It's still lagged out.
Okay, so it's probably just a region lock situation, because I feel like that's mostly a lot of things nowadays. Cause it's funny. I think I had the same problem with Discord too when I used it back in the day. Like I tried to talk to some of my European friends, and it's like, yep, this doesn't work that well. I don't know. I also just have a thing about like online stuff in general. Sometimes where it's just like it works good, but sometimes you can improve it a little bit more. Also, I just realized I got new pendants. I should probably switch the pendants, huh? I'm just so used to working with the default one. I'm like, oh, I don't need to change the default one. You should definitely change the default one, because I think we got that last episode, too. So... Oh, yeah, that reminds me. This has nothing to do with Monster Hunter or anything. I just wanted to bring this up. I may be getting Voice of Cards pretty soon. Or Voice of Cards pretty soon.
Which is?
The tabletop RPG.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, the demo was fantastic, so like, I'm super pumped for it. Even though it released already. It released, like, last month. But, it's that. I might also get the Pixel Remaster for Final Fantasy V, because the Final Fantasy IV Remaster was pretty good, too. Even though I still believe that the Final Fantasy IV Remastered was dumbed down entirely, because there's no way in hell I finished that game in less than 20 hours. When I also forgot where I'm going half the time. I mean, I could have easily finished it. Like, it's believable. It's just a situation where it's like... It wasn't an asteroid game, was it? Final Fantasy V, I know, is much longer, though.
I haven't played the Final Fantasy. I have them at home, but I just haven't played them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, they're long style kind of games, and, like, the ATB bar is kind of weird, because I still feel like the series at that point should have been turn-based, but it wasn't what's selling in the market at that point. Which, I mean, I don't know, I just like turn-based combat. It's a thing I like, but I guess I like the ATB bar a lot more, too, because it's a situation where it's like, it keeps you on your toes. I don't know, I flip-flop between liking it and hating it. Because, like, I feel like turn-based only really works with like Final Fantasy X or some of the other Final Fantasy games, but the ATB bar works better with certain other games. I don't know. Final Fantasy is one of the games where it's like I'll love it regardless, just because like the people who work behind it have been working since like the first game.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I'm trying to also think. Yeah, 5 is pretty long though. Like 5 is also the one that had multiple worlds in it. 5 has the standard world with I think it's called the World of Wind. The second world, which is Gallus World, which I think is just called the Master World or something like that. And then you have like the blend of the two worlds. So I mean, it's fun, but it's also like I will say right now, if you're trying to go for 100%, have freaking fun with some of the optional stuff, because that gets real hard. I think one of the most famous ones in Final Fantasy V in particular is Go-Go. If you guys know how to beat Go-Go real easy, you know how to do it. But for those who don't know how to do it, oh, have damn fun. Which is funny because there's also a Go-Go in Final Fantasy VI, but it's a different thing altogether. And Go-Go in Final Fantasy VI is actually really damn broken. Especially if you do certain things like give him a tool setup and then have him use the chainsaw. And then have Edgar in the party and then they both use the chainsaw. You don't know this because you never played the Final Fantasy games, obviously, as you just said. The chainsaw is basically a gravity weapon, and gravity in the older Final Fantasy games was instant death.
Oh.
So it's like a 10% chance of it doing the 10% chance of the instant death thing, but that's still 10%. And if you give Edgar or Go-Go, if you give either one of them like a speed enhancer like haste or like the Hermes shoes, their turns come by a lot faster.
What if you give them both? What if you give them the haste and the hermit shoes?
I think there's something about like in the original games it would work, but I think in the newer games like the Pixel Remaster they might have coded differently where it's like it works like they should. I think it didn't stack in the original, so I don't think the remaster would stack it either. But it's also hard to say because we never got the original Final Fantasy V for the Super Famicom. We did get 6, but that was Americans 3 and stuff. And you know the entire fiasco of the timeline, all that.
I heard it was kind of chaotic.
Well, I mean, it was a situation where like RPGs weren't selling well in North America or in Europe, so they just didn't decide to port the Final Fantasies 2, 3, 4. No, we got 4. It's just they didn't port 2, 3, 5, because 5 was also in a downhill situation. And we got 6 and 4, but 6 and 4 for North America in particular, because you guys in Europe didn't get Final Fantasy until Mystic Quest. It was Final Fantasy 2 in America and Final Fantasy 3 in America, so 2 is 4, 3 is 6. And that's like all the confusing part about it, because everything else came out like normal. Except like the PS2 games, because we didn't get the international port until much later, and you basically have to import the international versions if you're planning to play on the original PS2 and stuff. Which is so funny, because I remember the one time I visited Poland to visit relatives. I went to a game store because it was like our last couple of days, and we're going to like one of the major airports in Poland. So we swung by a mall. It was so weird seeing the international copy of Final Fantasy X-2 and Final Fantasy X, the American copy of Final Fantasy X, or not the American, the European copy of it. It was so weird seeing it in the same cabinet because I'm like, do people know which is the difference?
I mean, I would assume not.
Yeah, not when I was like 13 or however old I was. It's so weird to think about it too, because like I never saw the European art for Final Fantasy X or X-2 until I was at Europe, And I'm gonna say right now, I don't know if I like the American version or the European version art more. Unless they were the same art, because I think Final Fantasy X was one of the weird games that had the same art for North America and Europe. We could look into this after the recording, or like after our recording session in general. If it's Titus in the water at you won't know because you never played Final Fantasy, but I'll know it. If Titus is in the water holding the Brotherhood, then it's the same art for both regions. I definitely know the 10-2 art's different because the American art is Yuna, Riku, and Pain in the same photo, but they're like kind of a cutout situation. I think the European art, or this might be the international art, is Yuna in front of Xanarkin with her gun behind her back. And then the European one, I don't even remember what it was.
I have no idea. I wouldn't be able to say.
Yo, I love looking at like European art in general. Like not like actual traditional art, but like game art. Because game art, there's so much difference between the Japanese copy or the Asian copy, the Europe copy, and the North American copy, which kind of like stopped being a thing since like the PS3 because I guess it was a lot of work for people that were doing that. But I still liked it because like, have you seen the Super Metroid edits that they did between the Japanese, Europe, and the English copies of it?
Nope.
The only thing that changed in the box art of it was the color of Ridley.
What?
Why? Ridley in the American one is red. Ridley in the Japanese one is the standard purple. I think Ridley in the European copy is green, weirdly enough. It's so weird, but I love it.
Give me just a quick sec.
Yeah, it's fine. I can also talk about other weird box art that I know from the Super Nintendo, like the Chrono Trigger art. Oh my god, the Chrono Trigger art in particular is so different between all copies of the game. Well, actually, not really, because I think the Japanese and the English copy are the same with the snow background. But I think the European copy, the color of the monster they're fighting is different. And it's not even a color palette they use in the game. So, I mean, I know a lot of crap about games. What they freaking do, right?
I can tell.
It's all those game videos I watch on YouTube. They also help fill my information a lot more. You can mostly thank the Runaway Guy, Sugar Conroy, a bunch of other Let's Players I watch. I think even going over PS2 stuff, or sorry, not PS2, Xbox 360 stuff. I'm pretty sure even Saints Row had different box art for all the regions.
Maybe? Question mark?
I don't know. I haven't studied enough about Saints Row, but I'm pretty sure they had different stuff.
I haven't really followed up too much on Saints Row and whatnot. It's not a game that I really particularly.
I know, but like that's still topical because the remake was announced this year. I'm pretty sure, or not the remake, the reimagining or whatever, the reboot they're doing with it.
They're rebooting it?
I think that's what they said they're doing.
I had no idea. I had no clue.
Yeah, but that was discussed like I think the summer of this year. Cause I remember I was watching Good Vibe Games and Game Explain, and they were talking about like, oh yeah, how it's not Insomnia. Who the hell works on Saints Row? Whoever the company is, they tweeted out that they're making a reboot. Yeah, now that I'm about who the like what does Insomnia work on? Cause I'm trying to remember now.
I don't know.
Ratchet and Clank? No, that's not Insomnia.
Isn't it Activision?
I think that's Activision, yeah. I know Insomnia because of like some of the games I played, but I also forgot like what their big sellers were. I want to say Insomnia was no, that's Mad Dog, isn't it? The Uncharted folks.
I don't know.
I forgot to change the stupid. I keep forgetting to do that. Next time I'm gonna remind myself because that's gonna be the downtime between recordings. You know the pendants and stuff you get when you play the online mode? I forgot to swap it. I'm still using the default one.
Rip.
Yeah, well, I mean, as I said, we'll have downtime between this episode and next episode. I'll just show it off in the menu. Because I'm trying to think, like,
I just switched my weapons. I made the Teostra version, the Teostra dual blades. They're fucking insane.
Oh yeah, Blast Blade, when you get it to work properly, it's amazing.
It's not even that. It's just it hits so fast, and it just procs so fast that it's insane. It just becomes insane.
Yep. What?
Okay.
I'm trying to think of, like, devs and stuff, and like the only people that are coming to my mind is like Intelligent Games, Nintendo, and then like Square Enix, obviously, because I like a lot of Square Enix properties. But like I'm trying to blank on some of the other ones I've been with for a while now too, like NIS America. I completely forgot were like developers, or are they publishers or developers, or both?
I don't know.
They're the people who made the Hyperdementia games.
I haven't played them either. I really haven't played much.
I mean, to be fair, you're also busy with actual life.
Yes and no, I guess.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I also just put a lot of time, like, ever since I was a kid to learn a bunch of this stuff, so, like, I'm pulling back from memories of, like, when I was, like, maybe 8 or 9, learning about developers. And even then, like, the developers, the only developers I knew were, like, Nintendo. You ask, like, 8 or 9-year-old me, I'll just say Nintendo. I wouldn't even know any other developer. I guess it wasn't really until I was like 13 or 14 when I picked up my first Final Fantasy game, and then that's kind of what broadened my horizons to more games. And then obviously that was also around the same time I found out about YouTube and a bunch of other people I like to watch nowadays still. And that's also kind of where I found out about webcomics, because I don't know if you saw the post I made on the server, but I made a post of me going back and watching some Fiji Cat stuff.
Did not see that, no.
Yeah, I was going back and watching some Fiji Cat stuff on YouTube. I kind of forgot the guy's still making comics like that. Or the girl, I don't know who makes it currently. But, my god. I was going to make a little bit of a shit post about it, like saying how RPG players are basically Aerith from that series. Super snarky, super, like, dramatic, and just super sarcastic overall. And I'm like, you know what, that's kind of just me, though. Like, I've never met, like, I know people who play RPGs a lot more than I do, and they're not as, like, sarcastic as I am with certain things.
Yeah, to be fair, you are sarcastic about a lot of things when I do think about it, yes.
Yeah. Like, once again, like, that's definitely more of, like, a British thing, because I definitely talk to a lot more, like, European folks, and that just kind of rubs off on you.
Dude, I am British, remember?
I know, and that's why it's so glorious. Oh, hi! Oh, hi! How the hell did you jump up there?
He jumped, man.
I saw a dust cloud, I didn't see him. Yeah, but no, have you ever paid attention to Fiji Cats at all?
Nope.
Oh, God. You should watch the fighting game thing they did. It was hilarious. Oh, God, what was it? It was Street Fighter, obviously, but it was like, it's like a game guide of how to play fighting games. Because learning a long list of combos is so much fun. It's like having an exam about video games. Fun. And I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of just me in general. I'm the sass out of every group I'm ever in. and yet people trust me enough to run guilds for them. I guess I'm not really that sassy when it comes to texting people, though. Weirdly enough.
You don't respond much to text, do you?
I mean, I kind of do. It's just like
you should write the look on me.
Yeah, I'm going to. It stays for a bit. I'm good. Oh, hi. Yeah, I mean, like, the most sass you'd ever get out of me is, like, maybe word sass, but I don't put, like, emoticons when I type. Because I don't really think about emoticons.
No, emoticons are... I understand.
Like, the only time I do it is, like, oh, right, that's a thing. Because I've been trying to get better on Twitter about it. I'm also trying to get better on Guilded for it, because I'm like, I should really use these. I think my last tweet actually had... last tweet of this recording, not last tweet, like, overall, because God knows if I'm going to tweet between now and next time. My last tweet I made, I think, had, like, the winky face for some reason, because I was just like, I feel a little playful.
To this day, I still have no idea how the fuck emojis work.
I mean...
Like, to me, there's one emoji, the laughing emoji, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I use the upside down one a fair amount, too. The upside down derp smile.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But, like...
when you're being sarcastic.
Yeah. Or just being silly. Like, I mostly use that if I'm being silly.
Fair enough, yeah.
The sarcastic one for me is more of the smirk.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I don't know, like, I just put... There's, like, that's just MMOs for me in general, which is not defending the point of me not being Aerith from that series, just a guy Aerith. Because, like, her entire thing is MMOs and RPGs. And I'm like, that's really me. Like, that's just 13-year-old me to current me. Even though I play a lot of different games nowadays, because, like, I'm still not in sports games, but, like, I've been picking up a bit of fighting games here and there.
I mean, you play Smash, don't you?
I don't consider Smash a fighting game, though.
I mean, it still is. You're still duking it out. It's just two idiots duking it out in the state.
Yeah. Well, to that extent, yes. But I mean, like, I'm talking about, like, playing games like Tekken or BlazBlue and stuff like that.
Right. Well, you ride this guy.
Yep. Which is so funny, because, like, I think I tweeted about me looking at BlazBlue art again, and I'm like, wow, this is getting a lot better from where it was on the PS3. And then everyone's like, it hasn't changed since the PS3. And I'm like, I know, that's the joke. Yeah, talk about that. We're probably going to get a new European person in Guilded soon, because I've been talking to them over Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the one who hasn't played Monster Hunter Online yet.
Oh, the guy that was that's at work.
What?
You said earlier that there was someone that was supposed to be on, but
Oh yeah, no. That other person I was talking about was American.
Okay.
But yeah, there is a European person that is going to be joining the Guilded service soon enough, because they were talking to me on Twitter, and they randomly tweet at me over N64 post, weirdly enough. So it's like, okay, cool. I'll like private message you. We'll just get some stuff sorted. And they're like, oh yeah, no, dude, I love your YouTube and stuff. I'm like, cool. How about joining the thing so we could like talk, and you can play with a bunch of other people, and then there's gonna be like certain events going on that I'll inform you guys of, like every Pokemon event that happens. And he was like, yeah, dude, no problem. And it's like, cool. Well, we might play Monster Hunter soon, or we might play Pokemon, depending on if there's an event going on. Talking about that, God, I'm so sad you missed the Zoroark event, because I feel like you would have been on that.
What,
the Halloween event for Sword and Shield.
There was a Halloween event for Zoroark? Fuck!
Yep.
Oh, I'm so mad now.
I mean, I have a spear I can give you.
It's the only one that I've been hunting, like, actively in my, in my eggs. I've been hunting for Zoroark for the past, like, month and a half.
Oh yeah, no, Zoroark, when I was hunting for Zoroark, it took me about, like, 4 months to get it.
Well, I'm gonna hope and pray it doesn't take me that long.
Yeah, that's ideal.
The one that I am actually looking forward to is Hisuian Zorok.
Yeah, Ghost and normal, baby.
It was so cool. Fucking hell. The design for that thing is just amazing.
I just love the fact that it's gonna be Ghost and normal.
Yeah, a dual type that they have never done before.
Which it's so weird because like that seems like a thing they would have done with like Dunsparks.
Well, yes and no. Dunsparce would probably have been normal ground because I mean it is a borrowing Pokemon, but.
Or like Sableye, because I feel like Sableye would have also been pretty cool for that. Oh no! I'm an idiot.
Yeah, no, because I was about to say I would have understood in a way, but I wouldn't condone the normal Ghost. It would either have been normal Rock or normal Dark. That was the only two typings I would have seen on that Pokemon.
Well, it currently is normal. It currently is Dark Ghost, right?
It always was. It always was.
No, because I thought Gen 3 it was Rock Ghost for some reason.
No. It was Ghost and Dark because I was watching Small Ant the other day because I was catching up on some older videos and his dumb Pokemon challenges because I just like dumb Pokemon challenges.
Hmm?
And there was this one challenge where he was defeating Pokemon Emerald, but every Pokemon had Wonder Guard.
Oh.
And the Sableye, he couldn't touch it except with Toxic, because it has no weaknesses in Gen 3.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Anyways, that's it for this episode. We'll see you guys in the next one, which is going to be part 26. I almost thought it was part 30. I'm like, bam!
Well, I didn't even know you had that many parts. I have not been following that really this morning. Anyway, yep, well, have a fun one.
Yep.